The tranquility that was once offered by Ngong Forest is no more. Located at the heart of Nairobi County, approximately 6 kilometers from the central business district, lies Ngong Forest. Spanning more than 3,000 acres, the view from above paints the story tale of wanton destruction that was populated by mainly indigenous tree species.
KFS is also living in self-denial. Continue with this narrative that in fact there is no destruction going on.
In what could be the biggest logging exercise on land in recent years, hundreds of acres of indigenous trees have been harvested at a fast rate under the watchful eye of the Kenya Forest Service.
But one would have imagined that there would be no such audacity as to actually destroy or deplete forest within the noses, under the noses of the capital city. All of us agree that in fact there is massive and wanton destruction of our forest, degradation of our catchment areas. And this is not limited to plantation. It applies also to gazetted national forest.
To make the situation grave, sawmillers have not adhered to the requirement of replanting trees, leaving the forest cover at the mercy of the Community Forests Association. And in some sections where trees have already been felled, crop plantation with faceless owners now cover the area.
The sawmillers who are licensed to harvest our plantations are not required to replant. That is as shocking, as horrifying as it can get.
Ironically, KFS has a huge station located right inside the forest. The loopholes in the system encourage malpractices by both officers and community members.
I am convinced beyond doubt that unless KFS radically overhaul, we will continue in this game of musical chairs.
Community Forest Association, who are expected to supplement forest rehabilitation efforts, are accused of leasing forest land to third party for money and unclear circumstances.
The locals who are actually tilling the land are not members of the community forest associations. In fact, they pay money to members without receipt, without agreement. So you have an association that has been given a responsibility, but they themselves subcontract and double charge. That we heard of, very horrifying.
The current decorated section has not been spared either. Indigenous and exotic that once formed a huge canopy now lie where they once stood. Ngong Forest was gazetted in 1932 and is documented by the government as a reserve under the direct watch of the Kenya Forest Service. Ngong Forest, like Karura Forest, serves as a vital water catchment area, environmental and recreational center that decongests the high levels of pollution in Nairobi and stabilizes the water table. According to forest experts, it takes many years for an indigenous tree to mature, while an exotic one takes more or less 20 years. Environment Cabinet Secretary Keriako Tobiko has received accolades for taking drastic measures to stem forest destruction. Despite reshuffling of KFS officials, suspension of illegal logging and the replanting of indigenous trees in recent weeks, it will take decades to recover a section of Ngong Forest that, if the government commitment remains spot on. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 in Nairobi County, I'm Lynace Mwashighadi.